Alright, so we got a Speed Queen washer. Now the complaint on this one, the washer was dripping and the customer was not too happy with it. So here we are. We're going to be changing the valve. Now, first thing you want to do is you want to turn both the water valves off. And next thing you want to do, you're going to get down on your knees, and pretty much everything on this unit is going to be 5/16. There's only one that's quarter, and that's the one that is on the valve, I think, and also on the hose clamp. So pretty much those, and that's it. So first off, you're going to remove the two that secure the panel. And then to remove the panel, you're going to grab it at the bottom and you lift straight up all the way and hold it with the other hand. And there you go. Now, also underneath the cover here, you're going to have two 5/16 screws again. You're going to remove those. Don't lose them. And you're going to lift up. Now, make sure your water is already turned off before you do any of this. And we're doing quick maintenance here. Use a stiff brush and go ahead and brush out any lint that you might have built up. Reason why I'm doing this is part of the maintenance as well, and it's going to stop the rust that you see at the bottom of your Speed Queen. That's the only issue I can say I have with Speed Queen. Those holes need to be larger, and it allows for better drainage. So if you do want to expand on those holes, go ahead, or Speed Queen, if you're listening, make those holes larger. Otherwise, it's causing a lot of damage to the drum. All right. Also, the bottom of the tub, if the machine is brand new, I would go ahead and actually seal it with silicone. Maybe after you put a nice bead of WD-40, go ahead and wipe it off nicely at the bottom, then do a nice coat of silicone to protect it. All right. The valve itself is basically a 1/4-inch screw to remove it. And once you remove it, you push down and pull it out. Now, you're going to have 2 wire connectors on it, and the hose, which is low pressure, you need to basically use a needle nose and slowly push it up. Sorry about the angle. And free it up. Once it's freed, you can secure the clamp. Don't lose the clamp. And the clamp is a 1/4-inch screw or nut driver. Now you can remove your wires. Just remember the red goes to the bottom when you go to put it back on. Now, hopefully you already remove your water supply in the back. If not, go to the back, remove them. And again, make sure your water is turned off. Now you can lift your valve out after you remove the 1/4-inch screw. I'm using a long extension. It's a lot easier. You can just use whatever you want. Just make sure you have enough room. You can also tilt your basket or drum forward just a little bit, and that will allow you to get better access. Now you're going to push down slightly to remove, and it comes straight on out, and you'll have your new valve ready. Now I will have a video as well showing you how you can get these things fixed instead of replacing the valve, but they're fairly cheap. Now, if you want to do this, you can do this as a maintenance on your machine. What you do before you replace the valve, you can add either CLR or Barkeeper's Friend. Take the hoses from your water supply from the house. Make sure the water is turned off. Hopefully you're watching the video as I talk. And what you're going to do, you're going to add the product into the hose, going all the way, filling them up. Then reattach them, turn the water on, and let the product run through the valves. And what that's going to do is going to basically free up or dissolve the sediments that are causing the valve to stuck in the open position. You can try that before replacing the valve, of course. Now, once you get the valve in place, you will probably need an extension or something short enough to be able to get to the screw or the nut. You're going to push up slightly on the valve itself. There's you may say, a little section between the body of the valve and the washer, and you push up and it gives you basically a bracket, and it secures the valve, and then you secure it with the screw at the bottom. Now again, the red, which is the hot wire connector, goes to the bottom of the valve, and of course the other is cold. Now what I'm doing here is you want to make sure that your clear tube, that's a pressure switch tube, you want to make sure it's not kinked or nothing is impeding it. So pay super attention to that. If that hose is kinked, you will have an overflow situation. So pay special attention to that. Now, when you lower your lid, you're going to have two tabs. Make sure that those are in alignment, and you should be able to drop the top down nice and smoothly. And once that's done, you're going to have two 5/16 screws again. Get those in. Sorry about the angle, but that's what I'm doing. And now we're pretty much ready. So we're going to do a quick spray here, WD-40. While the unit was up, I went ahead and sprayed the other side. Sorry I didn't show that, so we're just catching the front now.
If you ordered a part, he won't fix it. Yeah, a lot of guys don't do that.
And that stops any moisture or rust. So now we're putting on the front. You want to slide the two clips up first as you tilt it up, and keep it pushing up as you lower it. And you're going to have two tabs again. Make sure those tabs are aligned with the front panel. And once it's aligned, you have two 5/16 screws. You might have to work it a little bit to get the brackets in. Pretty straightforward. Once that's done, you're going to have your two screws. Get those in. There you go. And that's it for that. Connect your water. Don't use Teflon, by the way, guys. The hoses have a rubber gasket, and that's always recommended. Snug them up. Don't over tighten, just make sure they're snug nicely. Alright, now it's time to plug your washer in. Clean behind your washer if it needs to be cleaned. A lot of times, there's always stuff back there. You can turn your water on as well, and that gives it some time to work.
Don't worry, I won't charge you for it.
With handicap, insulate.
All right, no charge for that. Dripping, everything should be nice and dry.
Turn it on and we'll see.
Water's been on.
Oh, it is?
Oh yeah. As soon as I put it in, you want to look down there. That's where the water would come in.
I know, but I felt this.
Oh, you can. But you may have some old residue from previously, so you want to see anything that's dripping.
I would love it.
Yeah, and we're dry as chip.
Alright guys, thanks for watching.
On, hot and cold, both are on. So, and if you want to verify that they work, just in case, put it in wash, and we have both on. We're going to go in warm. Warm will turn both of them on, and as soon as you pull, it should normal. And it's going to stop when you open the lid, but you see it flowing. And then the dripping should stop. You will have residual, but you shouldn't keep seeing a drip.
What else would make a drip?
Just a bad valve or a bad timer, meaning the power keeps going. But the cheapest thing, the valve. You replace a valve, and that's it.